raised in the Lone Star Land, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look in my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the blue bonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Gummy shoe prints, laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy sloop. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops always crack the whip.
Hello, hello. Y'all, StreamYard is doing some weird stuff. I don't know if it's all weird on your end, but my goodness, it's all kind of janky on the backside. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring enough to come and listen to what I got to say. I really appreciate it. Don't seem to understand it. Why we can go and have hundreds in our chat to just a tiny, tiny few. Seriously, it's weird. But it is what it is. And you guys are appreciated so much. Let me get up here to the very, very, very top and say hello to everybody. Hello, Miss Rhonda. Hey, TJ. Reality. Good to see you, love. DJ, thank you for being here. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Teresa. Cecilia, good to have you with us today. There's Daisy. Hello, Miss Kelly. Let's see who else we got with us. Cool Gamer, good to see ya. Read the bell. Love you so big. Let's see here. Hello, Michelle. How you doing? Anybody else sneaking in with us tonight? All right. All righty, guys. Well, appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to talk about Miss Nancy Guthrie and her case. I've been following it real close this weekend. Hey, Sassy Sandy, how you doing? It's a very sad situation, and today I was going to do a half and half mix, but I wanted to come on and talk about just this case today because of the deadline that is approaching. And then tomorrow, we're going all out. Mr. Chris, I got some things to say to you, buddy. So tomorrow we'll do that for sure. Hey, Jacqueline, good to see you. So if you've been following the Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie situation, her mother Savannah Guthrie is a co-host on the Today Show. Her mother has been missing for 1 week now. And I got some questions about the way some of this has been handled, but we're going to start out. I'm going to show you the timeline. This is what was put out to help us all to understand kind of what they supposedly know. January 31st at 5:30, Nancy travels to her local family's home. We now know that is her daughter Annie and son-in-law Tommaso's house. 9:48, Tommaso is the one that drops her off, and her garage door opens. At 9:50, the garage door closes. At 1:47 in the morning, the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., the software detects a person on camera. She does not have the subscription, therefore, it was not stored. At 2:28, her pacemaker app is disconnected from her phone. 11:56 a.m., the family checks on her. At 12:03, a 911 call. And then at 12:15, police arrive. That was last Sunday, a week from yesterday. And so there was a fake, and I say fake, there was a fake ransom request for Bitcoin, which is kind of strange to me because it turned out that they got the guy that requested the Bitcoin thing, and he was just trying to extort money from the family. And yes, yeah, I'll play that here in just a second. Then one of the local news stations and TMZ received a ransom request. There was a video that was put out at the very beginning from the family. We're going to listen to all three of those here in just a second. there was a second one that was put out by the brother alone. A third one was put out by all three of them after the second letter, because in the first, they asked for proof of life. Hey, Blue. After that, the deadline is today, 5:00 Arizona time. And today, Savannah Guthrie put out another video asking everybody to be on the lookout, no matter where you live, to be cautious, keep your eyes open, that kind of thing. Desperate hour right now. JLR has been in front of the Guthrie home. Lots and lots of activity there. Tons and tons of press is there. Osik, thank you for being a member for 12 months. My goodness, a whole year. Thank you so much for supporting me and being here with us. We love having you part of our family. Thank you so much for that. Wannabe Sleuthin'. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I don't know if it's on my end. I don't know if it's StreamYard, but when I was trying to do all the things a while ago, nothing was working correctly. But I want to show you guys, and I'm going to share this right now. We're going to listen to the messages that the kids were put out. Here is the very first message that was put on Instagram by Savannah Guthrie. And this is her sister Annie and her sister and her brother.
Loved Mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She is funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
So there you go. That is the first video. It was very touching. Can y'all hear me okay? It was very touching. It was very personal, letting you know exactly who their mom was. And with that came lots of speculation when it comes to the brother-in-law, Annie's husband, Tommaso. Lots and lots of speculation. He's the one that drove her home that night. He was the last person to see her. In kidnapping cases, the kidnappers make contact within 12 to 36 hours, always show proof of life, unless it doesn't exist. They had to ask for proof of life. Something that I learned with watching the interview room last night, we're going to listen to a little bit of that here in just a second. Chris McDonough talked about the affidavit that was put out in the arrest of the first person that did a Bitcoin ransom, but yet he didn't have her and was just trying to make money from the family. I want y'all to listen real close to his words here, because I was very surprised and even made me look at the sister and the brother-in-law even more so. Here we go. Let's play this. We're going to start about right here.
Here is the complaint. The guy's name is Derek Colella. He's out of LA, and it's basically the disappearance. They lay it out in the first paragraph here. Nancy Guthrie was last seen inside a residence, Catalina Foothills, community outside Tucson, January 31, 26. 84-year-old woman, mobility issues that likely precluded her from walking long distances unassisted. On the morning of February 1, 26, a friend of Nancy's contacted the victim's family and notified them that Angie had not attended church that morning. Now, this is interesting because the church thing has been a big question here, but here in this affidavit, they're mentioning it. At approximately noon, February 1, the family entered her residence and determined that she was missing and reported her disappearance to law enforcement. Law enforcement arrived shortly thereafter and determined that NG had left basic essentials inside her home, including her wallet, car, cell phone, hearing aids, and medications. NG's blood was found on the outside of her residence near the porch. On February 2nd, 26, KOLD, CBS affiliate in Tucson, received a ransom demand via their online tip portal. The demand listed a Bitcoin wallet address to receive the ransom payment. On February 4th, NG's family published a video asking NG's kidnappers to contact them on their mother, Countland 2. On February 4th, 26, shortly after the video was published, AC and TC, the daughter and son-in-law of NG, both separately received a text message from the following phone number.
This is where things get very strange for me. This is where I have questions because this is the fake kidnapper that requested ransom. Annie and Tommaso both received a text message from this person's number. Let's listen.
Bingo. So it was Annie and her husband got a text message from the guy in LA stating, "Did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction." AC and TC received these texts while in Arizona. Law enforcement was able to determine through an open source method that the 0552 number was associated with a voice over IP, VoIP text and call application that allows users to attain another phone number for their mobile device. It's probably a Google Voice, right? Or a Google number.
So this guy seems to have gotten an app, received a complete different number, like a Google number, sent the message to Annie and Tommaso asking if they got the Bitcoin for the ransom because we, plural, are waiting for it.
Separate from a burner number, from the mobile assigned to them by their wireless carrier. Law enforcement submitted an emergency disclosure request for the 0552 number. And by the way, it says a 760, so that's a North County, Southern California number.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what was your guys? 714, right?
714.
Yeah, so this is a North County number. Even though he's in LA, he sounds like he's from Southern SoCal.
North County, San Diego number.
Yeah, San Diego number.
Right.
Yeah. That's interesting too, because that is a straight shot over to Phoenix on the 8 or the 10.
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Based on the records provided, 0552 was registered to the following email, and they give the guy's name. And to your point, Gary, this guy's not the sharpest tool in the shed because they tied it back to his email. Anyway, they get the IP address and they go and get him. So then I'm going to share this one. They go get him. Oops, hang on. Let me.
I hope there's a connection, if there's a connection between this person and so, because there's very little honor among thieves, and you could say to the person, listen, you want to lessen your sentence, help us out, break this net apart, whatever. I mean, it would be a helpful thing.
Of course, it would be a very great thing, excuse me, if they would have held on to this guy, pressured this guy, continued to question this guy, but they let him go. He made bail. Why did they even allow him to make bail until she was found? I have no clue. But I thought that was very, very, very telling. Definitely go to the interview room, check it out. These are experts that have worked multiple cases over their career, and they talk about the case for a good while. I wanted to share that part with you. But yes, Chris McDonough, definitely worth listening to, definitely worth going and checking out. Hey Tam, how you doing? Hey Cinderella, good to see you. Thank you for everybody being here. Appreciate y'all so much. I'm telling you, Cinderella, I got questions, serious questions. I'm going to show some pictures now that Kelly East, one of our subscribers here, our mod, she called me and said, hey, you need to go look at this. You need to go pay attention to this. It was like, oh, wait, what? Guys, I think it was on day 2, Brian Enton was allowed to walk up on the property, walk up to the door, all the things. When he did, this is a screenshot from what I saw. This is where the doorbell ring camera would have been. If you notice above it there by the window pane is a little note that's stuck up there. It has to do with adult abuse, I believe, is what is being talked about. Why would that note still be sitting there? Why would they not have taken that note, tested it, all the things? And one other thing, pay attention to down here. You see the blood droplets down there. You see the rug, the mat. But look at the far right bottom corner. There's an Amazon package right there. Why was that not taken? Why was that not opened and checked into? Why are the police not taking everything they need to take before they allow people to go on scene? Here's one more I wanted to show you. And this was done while another person was there interviewing. Seems to be a blue piece of clothing laying out on the rocks. This was done after police left. This was a picture taken, screenshot during an interview. And that's laying on the rocks in the background. Very, very strange to me. Very strange. And of course, here's these blood droplets here. You can see them. Let's see. I think this one, there, that one's much better here. There's blood droplets right there. If you go back and watch any of the interviews, any of the pictures they show of Miss Nancy, she has very thin skin that if you bump her arm, it bruises. You could tell her arms were bruised up quite a bit. Just had that little purple tinge to them. People that have that usually have very thin skin as well. And it is very possible they could have grabbed her by the arm, twisted it, and her skin could have ripped off. Is that dropping away from the house? Is it going towards the house? I don't know. But I think it was very strange that they still allowed everybody to go directly up to that porch that is up inside that little alcove of her home. And people were allowed to go up in there. Just doesn't make sense. Now, yesterday I had JLR playing in the background, and let me see, I'm going to pull this up real quick. 7 days. 7 days since she had been missing. They went out there and checked the manholes where when you flush the toilet and the water runs through. They had poles down in there. Took them a week. A week. What is up with that? I don't understand that. While we are, let me see if I can get this down here. Let me turn off this. I'm going to have this playing in the background just so you can see the activity that's happening. This is live from JLR. He has told everybody throughout the weekend, you're welcome to share. Hold on, my bad. We're going back. We're going to listen because they did receive the ransom note. We're going to listen to the second message that her brother put out. Here we go.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach, but first we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you and we are waiting for contact. This is Cameron.
So that is her brother. This is after the second note was received once again with the local station and TMZ. We saw the first family interview that they did where they spoke out to the person that had their mother. I want you to listen to these words very closely.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Her words in this, I want to show you something here. I want you to read the words that she just said. We received your message and we understand. Not sure what they're supposed to understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This, oh, I've left off the Y, my bad, is very valuable to us, and we will pay. Friends, I don't know if you hear the words defeat, grief, But that's what I heard in that second ransom reply. Sounds as if they know their mother may not be alive. They want their mother returned so they can celebrate her. And think about it, friends. If you know your parent is no longer alive, but yet you don't have your parent, your loved one, how are you ever going to have peace? Her life would be very valuable. Her body, her remains would be very valuable to her family. And they would do whatever is needed done. Okay, I'm trying to take it off, and StreamYard there we go. Now, we're going to go to the second one that they did. This is the one Savannah put out today. She tries to sound a little more hopeful.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock, trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
There we have it. An hour of desperation. I'm going to share this so that you can watch as we're talking. From the 5 p.m. deadline. It's very scary and very sad to think that their mother has been missing for a week. She is 84 years old, has a bad heart, is on medication to help her stay alive and healthy. Does she even have her medication? I heard today a rumor that was put out saying that supposedly, allegedly, the sister had picked up her mother's heart medication. I haven't heard this to be confirmed or anything like that. But if she has a heart problem, which we know she does, she has the old time pacemaker, not the kind that will register, not the kind that they would keep up with, not the kind that would keep her location and they would be able to just go and get her. She had a connection to her Apple Watch where it kept up with all of her things. There was her phone that had the app as well. Her watch, according to what we have been told in the first ransom note, they said basically, we have her. This is what we want from you. They asked for proof that in their first interview, their first ransom reply, they asked for proof. In that second letter that they received, supposedly they were told the location of her Apple Watch. They were told it is laying on the table by the front door. Did they make her take off her watch right before they walked out that door? Did they almost forget to take off her watch? Her phone, I've heard, is in her car. Lots of things with this whole entire case do not make any sense whatsoever, because as you can see here, she lives in the desert. There's lots of brush, lots of cactus, all kinds of different types of cactus. Law enforcement has yet to do a grid search. Law enforcement has yet to scour, check out anything surrounding her property. There was a time where a drone captured them saying or showing where law enforcement was just walking through. Okay, I'm going to get over here because there is, I don't know what's going on here. StreamYard is being very glitchy today. I don't like it. Let's hit refresh. All righty. Well, are y'all still there? Can y'all still hear me? Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Help me. Hey, Shayna. Can y'all hear me okay? Hello, hello. Hey, Maga. If y'all can hear me, hopefully, my chat is frozen up. StreamYard is not being my friend today, y'all. There are people that have been paying attention to the Bitcoin thing. There has been no large transfer as of yet. There are lots and lots and lots of people who are suspecting the sister and the brother-in-law. One thing that Chris McDonough talked about the other day, yesterday on his interview, he talked about the fact that the guy that did the fake ransom is in a band. He has a band. Tommaso, Annie's husband, has a band as well. Weird connections happening here. Lots of things aren't making sense. The person that sent the first ransom note gave a deadline of Friday. Friday came and went because the family asked for proof of life. They received the next ransom letter, and there was no proof of life because they sent it into the tip line. You can't send attachments, but they did tell details about inside Miss Nancy's house, where exactly her watch was. They gave other details, we are told, as proof that they are the ones that took her out of her home. Today at 5 o'clock Arizona time, which I believe is in another 2 hours or an hour and a half, is the deadline. Do you pay? The family said they understood and they will pay. Do you pay? Do you not pay? What is the right answer? You already had one person that was arrested for sending a text message asking if you've paid the Bitcoin ransom because we are waiting. And then in the affidavit that Chris McDonough was able to obtain, the citation for his arrest stated that he sent that text message to Annie and her husband. Who is we? Is the we the people that are still holding the mother? Is the mother even alive? And why is law enforcement just assuming someone has her, they have the ransom, and they're just going to sit and watch this Bitcoin thing? They're going to wait it out until the FBI can trace down this location. I'm not understanding why the back of her home has not been checked out. Why is it a week after her going missing that they're going to start checking the drainage? They had a pole down there, sticking a pole into that drainage tunnel thing, the water runoff area. Texas Plain Jane, after reading, hey, Dan, after reading that message that the family did after the second ransom, we beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. To me, that says they're asking for their mother's body. What did that second note say? Even Chris McDonough and everyone on his panel, all these experts that have dealt with these types of things in the past, they all said the same thing. It sounds as if the first video that the brother sisters did, there was hope. They were describing their mother. They were trying to make her a real person. They were trying to get this person to identify with his own mother. It was very hopeful. The second video done with the three of them sounded as if there was grief and defeat. today she made a comment, made her video alone, Savannah did, and it sounded as if she was trying her best to be hopeful. The deadline's approaching. Please be on the lookout. How is it that a case that is nationwide, you're going to choose this family because of the fact that you feel this family is rich enough they can pay this huge ransom? The sister, the daughter there, Savannah, she is on TV every morning. She has a law degree. Her husband is a lawyer. Obviously, they are wealthy. Yes, Lisa, a lot of people call it celebration of life instead of a funeral. Exactly. So how is it that a kidnapper is going to honestly believe this case is not going to blow up huge? And that's exactly what it has done. Exactly what's happened. What do they do now? How do they return the mother without being caught? How are they going to do that? How are they going to go about dropping her off somewhere? Law enforcement went to the Circle K closest to Annie and Tomas's house, got the video footage, and they had a car of interest. Law enforcement looked into the guy that did the fake ransom. They realized he sent a text message to Annie and Tommaso. Have you sent the Bitcoin yet? We are waiting for it. We, as in plural, not just him. We're not just talking about him. He wasn't doing that on his own at all. I'm going to see if this will work so we can watch this as. This is Nancy's house that you can see back there. As you can tell, it's very desert-y. How do you say that word? Desert-y. Can y'all see it? It says it's Sharon. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. StreamYard is not my friend today, guys, and I apologize for all the glitchiness. But that's her house. There are no street lights there. It gets dark. It gets black. Very, very, very dark. It would be so easy for someone to have came up to her front door, which is right directly behind that very tall, thin cactus. Very tall, thin, straight up cactus. Yeah, Aretha, there is a whole lot of cactus there. The other night, JLR was walking down the street as it was getting dark to show how dark it really gets. And the sunset was absolutely beautiful as the sun was going down behind the mountain that is over to the left of that house. Just that cotton candy. It's worth all that cactus, but people like it. People love it. Lots of activity happening outside her house. Has been like this all morning long. People waiting. It's been like this. You see all these cars parked all the way down the road. And that's the road going straight in, the road directly in front of her that runs parallel to her home. It's miles of cars and cameras and people. Shayna goes, my son lives there. It's very nice to visit. Couldn't live there. Yeah, I bet. Very dry atmosphere. Very much so. I still go back to the fact that there was a note left on her front door, a little note. Law enforcement just left it there. Why would they do that? Why would they leave this little tiny note sitting there? What if it was part of the ransom note? I can't believe that the Amazon package was just sitting there as well. None of it makes sense. Guys, hold on just a minute. My granddaughter's calling. Hold on.
I'm going to go on a bike ride real quick. Just want to let you know.
Okay, be very careful, okay? And don't be long because it'll start getting dark very, very soon, okay? Don't go very far.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, love you. Be careful.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Hello? Can y'all hear me okay? Hello, hello. Howdy. Anybody home? Kicked me all the way off. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today, but it's pissing me off, y'all. Making me mad. Hello. Now my chat is frozen. I give up today, y'all. I almost didn't go live because I laid down, took a nap, and I was running behind. And maybe I should have just not done anything. Hey, Linda. Lordy, lordy. Well, if y'all can hear me, please continue to say a prayer for Miss Nancy, her family, and a positive outcome. Although as days tick by, I'm not quite so sure on what the outcome's going to be. I don't understand how a person can think that they're going to be able to just drop her off somewhere and not be seen, not be traced down. How they're going to receive money and be able to spend all this money and yet not have it traced. Every bit of that money is going to be tagged. People are going to follow the trail. It's crazy to think that in this day and time, even all the technology that's out there, all of the cameras that are every corner that you turn on, something, someone, somewhere is watching. I don't understand how people think they're going to get away with it. And as big as this case has gotten, I worry that that could cause more harm than good. You know, I've talked about that even in Little Summer's case and Sebastian's case as well. Does it cause more harm than good? What we do? There's a lot of us here that just want to help, just want to be able to keep putting things out there. Yeah, they'll get away with it until they get caught. That's it, Texas Plain Jane. They're going to get caught. Basically, this day and time, you don't get away with that kind of stuff. It's just not working. It's not possible. Yes, Miss Retha, I thought so as well. I really, really did. But then I got to paying attention and it's like, how come there's just a couple of people walking around? You know, they're not doing a grid search back there. They're not trying to you know, they're not doing all these things, and yet authorities are sitting there analyzing multiple separate ransom demands sent to media organizations, and they all contained cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency. The one that was able to tell them something, her watch is by the door. They're requesting $6 million. They send it into these media organization tip lines. You can't send a photo. You can't send a video. There's no place for attachments. So how do you prove that she is still alive? Wannabe Sleuth and said, I don't think there's a real ransom. I wonder. I really do. But law enforcement sure has sat on that from the very beginning. I honestly believe that they believed in these ransoms and therefore didn't need to do grid searches. They didn't need to check those manholes. They didn't need to take notes from the front door and the package that was sitting over to the side. What if that package had something in it pertaining to Miss Nancy? And they had an old package and they had it taped up or something. Law enforcement doesn't know that. They don't know what it is or isn't until they took it and analyzed it, but they didn't. It was just sitting there after they had left. Saturday night, they go back to the sister Annie in her husband's home. They were in the garage. You could see the flashes of light. You could see the purple light happening. Their cars were supposedly inside. Were they looking for Miss Nancy's blood? They did confirm the blood on the front steps was hers. Were they checking to see if that blood was done while she was in the car with them? And the police chief, the one that's come out and done all of the announcements that have been made, Saturday, he was at a University of Arizona basketball game watching his grandson while Miss Nancy is somewhere out there. I'm not sure of why they just assume someone kidnapped her and they're going to be giving her back. Michelle, I wonder, I really do, but it's like I said, the whole nation has had a grip on all this. You know, they have came in and staked out in front of her home. And it's crazy that so much of this is happening. And as the time gets closer to that 5 p.m. deadline, I could only imagine what our children are going through. I could only imagine the nightmare that they're living in. And the sister, Annie, her and her husband, their connection to the ransom letter, the very first one that was sent, that was nothing behind it other than just trying to get money from them. Are the we mentioned in that text message to Annie and Tomas? The other ones, are they the ones requesting the 6 million with a deadline of 5 p.m. today? Is that the we? Is he connected into this? Does that mean that maybe Annie and Tomas owed money or something? Too many questions. Dan asked, what do you feel in your opinion about this case, Lolly? I feel like law enforcement has let her down. I feel like they went one direction and then had to play catch up and wasted a lot of time. After the last video that Annie, Savannah, and the brother had put out, I feel like she's no longer alive. I feel like they just want their mother's body back. They will do what they have to get their mother back. The wording that was used, and even Chris McDonough and all of his group of friends were talking about it. They felt the same way. The words were meticulously chosen. We received your message and we understand. Very, very strange wording. Very, very strange. I put it all down, wrote it out so that I could see the words. And it was plain as day. We received your message. We understand. What do they understand? The next sentence pretty much explains what they understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. If that message said something happened and she had not made it, she is no longer alive, they want her body to celebrate. And this confirmed it when they said, this is the only way we will have peace. That confirmed it for me. This is very valuable to us. Of course, a mother's body would be very valuable to them. And we will pay. The words were very chosen. Very much chosen. A lot of people are going hard after the sister and the brother-in-law. Rita Bell said, I've even wondered if her offering was missed on Sunday. I have heard that, she can't walk but about 50 yards by herself, right? That she has issues with her walking. And I have heard that she was doing online church. So even the church plays a strange factor. How do they know she wasn't in church if that is true and she was watching online? How do they know she wasn't even watching? How do they know that? I mean, was there done on YouTube? That's how my church does. There's a chat. Was she not in chat? Is she usually in chat every day or every Sunday? Yeah, Teresa. Teresa said they should know by now that everyone following this case would be analyzing everything the LE are doing. They've been very sloppy. I agree. I honestly believe, I had the question on Saturday when I saw them go back out there and start doing things, and they had somebody there making sure nobody went back up on the property. All the news stations had already been all over that property. Day two, news stations were there. Brian Enton walked up to the front door. Those photos that I showed you of the Ring doorbell camera missing came from Brian Enton's video. The package with the Amazon package at the front door area came from Brian Enton's video. He was standing right there in front of that front door. Why are you going to allow those things to happen and yet you didn't take anything from that front porch? For your church, it's on Facebook. Okay, Dan, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was on Facebook and they could tell she wasn't watching or something. I don't know. Daisy said, I heard there's a check-in. Okay. Like I said, I had questions about the church thing. How did they know she wasn't there? I would like to know that. How did someone realize we need to check on Miss Nancy because she wasn't here today, listening and watching? They put out fake news, there was a stranger in the congregation. Well, if Miss Nancy wasn't at church, but she was watching online, why would a stranger, be an issue in the church itself? There's been so much fake news with all of this. It's crazy. It's gross. I mean, Sebastian has his own whole community of fake news people over here. I suppose all cases are going to have that. I just have questions. What happens when 5 p.m. Arizona time comes? Put a 1 in chat if you think the family will make that Bitcoin deposit. Yeah, a big question. Who did a stranger know about the floodlights in the back of the house? Exactly. The floodlights were all destroyed, was supposedly the way it was put in the ransom. And they were tore all kinds of ways off. So there's several of you who believe they will make that. TJ said, yeah, no, they won't make the Bitcoin deposit because they cannot make that much of a Bitcoin deposit because they don't exist. Gotcha. I know nothing about Bitcoin. I know this. If it is linked to if this Bitcoin account is linked into a different country, which I've heard it was, and it's coming from America here, is there a hold on all that? Is there a limit you can send at one time? Wannabe Sleuth said, I don't think they will pay without proof of life. And that's the whole thing. The family asked for, contact with them directly. Everything has been sent to KHOU. Or no, wait. KHOU. That's a Houston channel. Duh. What is it? KOLD or something like that. It's a TV station. In TMZ. But the funny thing is that KOLD, I think, is the call station. I believe those are the letters, but that is the same news station that Savannah Guthrie worked at the beginning of her career. KOLD. Okay. That's the same station that Savannah Guthrie worked at when she began her career. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Are they local and they know that is a good place of contact? I don't know. There's just too many questions sitting out here. Too many. Too many to make everybody feel uncomfortable with what's going on. She also worked on Court TV. She has a law degree. I've heard that. I've heard she has I believe it was Chris McDonough and that live he did last night. He said that she had a law degree. So Shayna says, I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah, that's a thing. You know, there's a whole lot of them. Hey, Keely. So I'm very curious if there was rumor yesterday that Kash Patel would be in Arizona today. I've yet to hear any confirmation of that, but that was a lot of talk yesterday. Yeah, Texas Plain Jane. Her husband is a lawyer. Yes. Yep. Hold on a minute. Let me look at this. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on. Law enforcement is working tirelessly. We have felt.
Okay, let's listen.
I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we
Dolly's
enter
out
into
there
another
now.
week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
Okay, hearing those words, does that make you think there is no ransom? I wonder. Let me see here. Hold on.
That's what I want to know. If the family went to check on her, I have reason to believe that Charles Cameron is from Vermont, and I have reason to believe Savannah Guthrie wasn't there. So who was the family that went check on her? The same people to see her last? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Authorities said her doorbell camera had been removed and there were blood splatters near the front door. Although Guthrie is of sound mind, family members have said she has physical ailments that prevent her from walking long distances and she uses a pacemaker. There's been no proof of life offered by the abductors. Black is the last name of this person, this like former FBI guy. He said that Nancy's health problems make the investigation much more urgent. He believes the FBI will be able to solve the case given the massive resources it has. He said, I do think they're going to get to the bottom of this. It's just a question of if they can do it in a timely manner, that we get a positive result and have this woman returned safely.
That's the whole thing, you know. It is said that Annie and Tomas were the ones at the house. The two people that saw her last, did they have money issues and need money, and this was a way to do it? Are they part of that that the first person that texted them about the ransom? Is her daughter and son-in-law part of that? Yeah, Dan, there has been no funds. No funds have been deposited for the ransom in the Bitcoin. It's being checked pretty periodically. Let me see here. It says the Circle K stores look to show son-in-law more than one time. What is going on? Revenge, money, both. Yeah. I'm just, yeah. Texas Plain Dane, it makes me wonder. And, you know, a lot of people have made comments. I've read comments in every time someone played the response from the family, and all three of them are sitting there. Annie's body language is very strange. Annie's body language tells on herself. Annie looks guilty. Annie is feeling remorse for what she's done and been a part of. Those are all things that people have been putting in the chat when those videos are played. You've got Savannah, who is in front of a TV every day reading teleprompters. She holds herself together. She's got a law degree. She knows how to hold up in the hardest and toughest situations. The brother has to be the rock for the sisters. He sits there. He's angry. He's worried. You can see it all. Annie, in my opinion, I think there's something that could be there. Keeley, sadly, nothing more about Sebastian. Nothing more about Sebastian. Tomorrow we'll go over Sebastian's case. I do want to play Mr. Chris's live on Queen Bee with Terry Lynn and all the things. I've got a few things to say. So y'all come tomorrow for sure. Be back here tomorrow. Miss Nancy's life matters. Sadly, someone took her from her home. Oh, I'm out. I played her little video for her birthday when I went live that day. Yes, Cinderella says Annie looks down like another person we know. Exactly. Yeah. I know, Keely, it is a sad world, but we're not going to give up. Jacqueline, the deadline has not passed. I believe there's still another hour to go. I believe it is just a little after 4 p.m. in Arizona right now. And so therefore, the deadline is sadly approaching. Oh, yeah. Everybody, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It just aggravates me that when we talk about Sebastian, we can get, hundreds in here. And then if it's anything else, we can't even break 40 people. It's very discouraging for me. But at the same time, I appreciate every one of y'all for being here. I'm grateful for y'all. I don't know what's going to happen in this case. I don't know if there is a ransom, if there's not a ransom. Has it all been just a hoax? Shayna, thank you, sweetie. It does get very discouraging. Yeah, there's a lot of people covering today. And that's the bad part. I try to go live early enough so that I don't get covered up by the larger creators. But unfortunately, there are those that like to go on top of me just for spite. Oh, I'm out. Thank you for that. How sweet of you. Thank you for that. That was so sweet. I appreciate you. I really do. That was so kind. Yeah, I've been following up, I've been watching it and trying to oh good golly. I don't know what StreamYard's doing. I hadn't hit a button yet. Stop it. I didn't even hit buttons that time. It was going crazy on me. Yeah, Summer Dog. There's several at the scene. I've been watching JLR. I have because he's been there. He left the other day. I think it was Saturday. He was there all daggum day. From early morning till after dark. He left and it was probably 30 minutes. He was back live over at Annie and Tomas's house because he had gotten the response that they were going or on their way over to Annie and Tomas's house to do some searching there. And he was live through all that. Bless his heart. There have been several people that had come up to him, talked to him, brought him waters and snacks and things. There are good people in this world. There really are. Unfortunately, there's a lot of idiots in this world. But Shayna, look at you. You didn't have to do that, sweetie. Thank you so much. Guys, if y'all were one of the lucky ones to get a membership, please tell Shayna thank you because that was so gracious of her. And to our new members, Welcome to the South, y'all.
Welcome. Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a amen? Welcome to the South.
So much, Shayna. You are so sweet. I appreciate that. And to our new members, welcome to the family. We're excited to have you with us. I'm really worried about this whole case. I couldn't imagine being in my home and being taken. Having the health problems that Miss Nancy has, having to be drug out of your house for whatever reason, bleeding. Was it coming from her nose? You know, did somebody punch her in the nose? Was it from her arm? Did her arms just bleed easily? Her skin rip and tear? Somehow, some way she was bleeding. Did the blood even come from that night? Sadly, we don't have those answers. I couldn't imagine sitting there for 7 days wondering what happened to my mother. Where's my mother? Is my mother still alive? There are evil, hateful people in this world. Why would anyone want to do that to a sweet woman? It makes no sense. But sadly, this is the world we live in, guys. I think whoever took her, I honestly believe they are probably overwhelmed with the amount of attention that was drawn to this case. They probably assumed it would get some local attention, some, attention from Savannah's job, and then that would be about that. Yeah, Sassy. She was probably all comfy in her pajamas in warm bed. Exactly. Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are we being distracted from? Does law enforcement even know anything? Oh, how sweet, Michelle. Thank you for the wonderful gift of being a member. It's a beautiful place to be part of. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. Thank you so much. It's really a sad situation, and time is ticking down. And yet we don't even know for sure. I wonder if law enforcement even knows, is there a real ransom? Do they really have her? Has someone taken her, unalived her, and disposed of her days ago? And then these people are playing this prank to get money so they can get rich. I mean, all these thoughts run through your mind, and yet, what do we know? What does law enforcement know? Do they know anything? Is my question. Because when you have law enforcement come out on day one, do all what they're doing, look into all the things they're looking into, and they leave and allow people to go on the property and walk all around. People were in the backyard even. News people were walking all around. Thank goodness Brian Enton went to that door, showed the blood, showed the note that was left sitting there, the Amazon package that was left sitting there. It wasn't until Saturday when there was a sheriff's office vehicle staked out there. They've been there 24/7 since Saturday. One day shy, or just hours shy of being a whole full week before they decided, hey, we need to keep everybody off of this property. You got questions when it comes to stuff like that. It's not right. And sadly, it could mean life or death for Miss Nancy if that hasn't been a choice already. Yes, Lisa, money is the ruler of evil. I agree with that 100%. 100%. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And why? Why? Hang on, let me see. I just got a couple messages here. Let me look real quick, see if we got any updates. Sounds good. Thank you, Michelle. You're always so sweet. Oh, okay. We just got a little tidbit of info. Not sure how accurate. Word on the street. The son-in-law and wife are broke. They needed like $4 million to get out of debt. That's what the word on the streets are. And yet $6 million was asked for. Is that to pay the others? The other we's involved? Was the first person that sent the messages to Annie and Tommaso, was he doing that just to cause distractions? To get people to look at him while the other people actually do all the things they needed to do? Who knows, guys? There's so many questions sitting out here, and the timeline, the deadline given is slowly approaching. The first deadline they gave was Friday. Keep that in mind. But the family responded quickly and said, we need proof of life. The second letter comes. Supposedly it has information that confirm they have the mother. The next video comes out quickly that says, we understand. This is valuable to us and we will pay. Today, in approximately 30 more minutes, is the final deadline. What does that mean for Miss Nancy? What does it mean for her family? Can you imagine those minutes ticking by, waiting for that deadline to approach? What happens after that deadline? Will they pay? Will they not pay? I assume if they pay, it will be last minute, down to the very last few minutes when that payment will be made. Then what happens? How is Miss Nancy returned without being seen anywhere? Will they drive her out to the desert and leave her? Because that's about the only place you could go to without cameras. Yeah, Sassy, I agree. That dinner was very sketchy. Mom took an Uber. Miss Nancy took an Uber to her daughter's house. Supposedly there was dinner, there was game they were playing, everything was good, and Tommaso drove her home. Once again, the person that is being suspected the most is the last person to be seen in a car driving her home. Did she even make it home? Did she make it back inside her home? So many questions, guys. All these questions just sit out here. And yet, in the citation for arrest, the affidavit states clearly Annie and Tommaso were sent a text message to their personal phones from the person who set out with the very first ransom note. Have you sent the money? We are waiting. How does that person have their personal cell phones? Lots of weird connections here as time creeps closer. I don't know what Miss Nancy's future holds. I don't know if she is still alive or no longer alive. But I know this, I will continue to pray until we get answers. Every life matters, even Miss Nancy's life. I will pray for her family to find some kind of comfort and peace during this time, but I know that they won't be able to settle until they have the answers they need, until they have their mother safely returned home. I believe Savannah's last message that she put out was that of desperation. Yes, Rhonda, he used to be in a band with Tommaso. Yep. How is the payment supposed to be paid? It's supposed to be done through Bitcoin, and there is an account set. Yeah, Shayna, I agree. Nothing makes sense. Everyone's got to see that. It's so obvious. Even with Sebastian's case, we say the same thing. My God, how much more obvious can it be? Let's just hope Miss Nancy's case gets settled, solved, and handled quickly. Poor little Sebastian. I don't know, guys. It's very sad. Very, very sad. I mean, you look at the house of Miss Nancy, it is so dark. It would have been easy for someone to come up if they just knocked on the door and she answered it. They could have grabbed her, took off. It would have been easy. Nobody would have seen. No neighbors are very close to her home. All of that cactus and brush and everything in front of her house, it would have been easy to get away from there. Now the question is, how easy will it be to get her back? How easy will it be for them to return her and get away with that? Because everyone in that area is on high alert. JLR talked to a neighbor that lives down the road from Miss Nancy, and that lady said, I don't feel comfortable in my home anymore. Oh no, Joe, you take care of yourself, sweetie. I hate those migraines. I feel for you. Y'all say a prayer for Miss Joe that she gets to feeling better. Lord, those migraines are horrible. Yeah, Miss Rhonda says, do you know Bitcoin was made? Here, let me put this up here for everybody to see. Bitcoin was made for dark web for shady transactions, and PayPal is involved somehow. Yep, I've heard the same. And let's see. Wonder if Nancy is in on this. I don't know. I do sadly wonder about her daughter Annie and her son-in-law. I do. I can't help it. There's just too many weird things. You know, they did take the son-in-law and questioning. They've been back to Annie and Tommaso's home repeatedly, several times. And Celebrite was there on Saturday. So they're digging into them and their life very hard. And that's the way it should be. I'm sad. It's sad to say, but they were the last persons with her. And it's possible they were the family that was close to go to her house and check and call police. So is it just a coincidence? Is it just more red flags? Guys, I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Be on the lookout. Hopefully we will hear something soon. Hopefully there will be some answers for Miss Nancy for her children. I appreciate y'all being here. I really, really do. And thank you to those who've contributed tonight. I appreciate y'all so much. Definitely come back tomorrow. I got some things to say to Mr. Chris. I have some things to say to those who sit on panel with him and respect him. Y'all won't want to miss that. Anyways, y'all be safe out on these streets. Say a prayer for Miss Nancy, for her family, because sadly, from what we know, things could go very bad for her. Things could go very, very wrong. Very possibly could be a panic mode. We don't know. We don't know. But I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all have a super good night. And until tomorrow, love and hugs, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.